I woke up to the sunlight creeping through the blinds, spilling warm light across my bedroom. The first thing I thought of was Maya. She was supposed to be at her parents' this weekend, but I could already hear her voice in my head teasing me. I grabbed my phone and dialed her number before even getting out of bed. "Hey," she answered, her voice soft, airy, with a hint of sleep. "Morning." "Beautiful," I said, grinning even though she couldn't see me. "Did you sleep well?" "I did," she laughed quietly. "Did you?" "I did," I lied, though I'd barely slept thinking about seeing her. "I can't wait for tonight. Are you sure your parents won't mind me dropping by?" "Of course not," she said, but her voice wavered slightly. "They'll love to see you. Just don't make too much noise when I sneak out for a call, okay?" I frowned but chuckled. "Sneak out? What are you plotting, Maya?" She giggled. "Nothing, silly. I like a little mystery. Keeps things interesting." I laughed, but a tiny knot formed in my stomach. Something in her tone felt off, though I couldn't put my finger on it. I pushed the feeling aside. Maya had always loved being playful. "Okay, mysterious lady, I'll behave." "I'll hold you to that," she said, her voice softening. "I miss you already. I miss you too." "Way too much?" I admitted, leaning back against the pillows. "Are you sure you'll call tonight?" "Promise," she said. "Don't worry, everything's fine." I hung up feeling a little lighter, a little happier, as if hearing her voice alone could make the day brighter. I got up, showered, and went downstairs, making coffee and trying to ignore the tiny, nagging doubt I couldn't shake. Liam was already on my porch when I stepped out, leaning against his truck. He grinned. "You're up early, and you're smiling. That's new." "Morning, man," I said. "Yeah, just excited." Maya called. "You know how that is?" He raised an eyebrow. "Maya, she's good for you, right?" "Of course she is," I said quickly, maybe a bit too quickly. "We're perfect." "Everything's fine." Liam didn't look convinced. "You seem distracted, though. Like you're waiting for something bad to happen." I laughed, shaking my head. "No, man. I'm just thinking about the weekend. I can't wait to see her." "You'd think after 3 years I'd get used to this, but no. Every time we talk, it's like the first day all over again." "Uh-huh," he said slowly, folding his arms. "Just don't ignore little signs, okay? Sometimes things aren't as perfect as they look." I waved him off, smiling. "You worry too much." "Maya and I are fine, really," Liam smirked. "Fine until it isn't. Anyway, what's the plan today?" I shrugged. I was going to run a few errands, maybe stop by the park, grab some coffee. Nothing fancy. Just normal stuff. "Sounds peaceful," he said, giving me a sideways look. "Make sure you don't stare at your phone all day. You might miss reality hitting you in the face." I laughed, a little nervous. "Yeah, I'll keep that in mind." We walked down the street together, talking about small things, laughing at jokes that didn't even need punchlines. My heart felt light, almost giddy, thinking about the weekend ahead. I imagined seeing Maya again, her smile, the way she held my hand, the warmth in her voice when she said my name. "She's really something, isn't she?" Liam said suddenly, breaking my thoughts. "She's perfect," I admitted, and I meant it. Even with that tiny shadow of doubt, I pushed it away. I don't know how I got so lucky. Liam didn't say anything after that, just shook his head slightly, like he was worried but wouldn't say it out loud. We parted ways after an hour, and I headed back to my apartment, humming a tune Maya liked. I picked up my phone again, almost expecting her to call. I smiled at her picture, tracing her face with my thumb. I couldn't wait to see her tonight. Everything felt right, perfect even. I had no idea how quickly it would all start to unravel, or that this sunny, ordinary morning was the calm before the storm. But for now, I let myself believe in our perfect weekend. I was scrolling through my phone, half listening to a podcast, when a notification popped up. It was from a hotel app, one I didn't recognize at first. I frowned. Maya's parents, why would this show up? I muttered. Curiosity got the best of me. I tapped it. My heart thumped in my chest as the live feed loaded. And then I saw her, Maya, entering the hotel. But she wasn't alone. I froze. No, that can't be, I whispered. She was laughing, leaning close to a man I didn't recognize. I leaned closer to the screen, disbelief washing over me. The image was crystal clear. She was smiling at him the same way she smiled at me. My stomach turned cold. I dialed her number instantly. Maya? Hey, are you at your parents'? My voice trembled more than I expected. No answer. I called again. And again. Straight to voicemail every time. I pressed my forehead against the table. Okay, think, I muttered. Maybe it's not what it looks like. But my voice sounded weak even to me. I replayed the footage, over and over. Every laugh, every look she gave him, every little gesture, I had shared those gestures with her. And now it felt like daggers stabbing my chest. She was lying, I whispered, voice cracking. I could almost hear her teasing, playful voice in my head. Everything's fine. My chest tightened. Fine, everything's fine? I paced the room. No! No! My hands shook. I grabbed my phone again. Answer. Just answer, please. Voicemail. I threw the phone onto the couch, but it bounced harmlessly. I wanted to scream, to hit something, to make the anger and betrayal tangible, but my voice caught in my throat. What the hell did I do wrong? I muttered, sinking onto the floor. Why me? I closed my eyes, trying to remember everything. Her smiles, her laughter, the nights we spent talking until dawn. Were they all lies? Had I never truly known her? The footage played again. I leaned forward, staring at it as if my eyes could pierce the screen. They held hands for a brief moment. My stomach lurched. I whispered her name, and it sounded like a question and an accusation at once. Maya! A small, bitter laugh escaped me. I trusted you. My fingers dug into my hair. I really trusted you. I called her again. The line rang once, twice, then voicemail. I shoved my phone aside, trembling. You liar. All of it was a lie. My voice barely rose above a whisper, but it felt like it could shatter the walls around me. The man she was with, I didn't even know his name. But the fact that she was laughing with him, the way she leaned in, I felt like I had been punched in the gut. Every memory of her now tasted bitter. Every soft word she had said to me turned into mockery. I sank deeper onto the floor. I can't believe this. I can't, my mind raced. Questions, accusations, anger, heartbreak, all blending into one impossible storm. Why now? Why like this? I could hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears, deafening in its insistence. I wanted to call her again, confront her, scream at her, but the thought of her voice, lying calm, pretending I couldn't. I didn't want to hear another excuse. Another lie. I stared at the screen again, at the image frozen in my mind, her smiling at someone else. And I felt something cold and sharp stir inside me. Rage, disbelief, hurt, all mixed together. A poisonous cocktail I couldn't swallow. I thought I knew you. I whispered to no one. My hands shook. I thought I knew you. I remembered Liam's words from yesterday. Don't ignore little signs, he had warned me. I had laughed, shrugged it off. And now, I wished I had listened. I grabbed my laptop, trying to find any other proof, any way to make sense of this. But every search, every click only confirmed it. She had been lying. The weekend trip to her parents? A lie. Every call? Every smile? A lie. Tears burned my eyes. I wiped them away angrily. I can't just sit here. I have to think. But thinking felt impossible. My chest tightened. My hands trembled. And all I could hear was her laughter with him echoing in my head. I had been betrayed, humiliated, and yet completely powerless. I whispered her name again, softer this time, almost afraid it would break the last thread of hope I had. Maya, who are you? I sank onto the floor, letting the cold reality wash over me. For the first time, I felt utterly alone, utterly deceived. Everything I had believed about love, trust, us, it was gone, and I realized painfully that I didn't even know her. I slammed the door behind me the moment Maya opened it. She froze, her smile faltering. Hey, she started, but I cut her off. Hey? Hey? Don't hey me, Maya, I saw you. My voice shook, but I held it as steady as I could. At the hotel. With him, her eyes widened. What are you talking about? I pulled out my phone, showing her the footage. Don't play dumb, this right here. You're supposed to be at your parents', and instead this. My fingers shook as I tapped the screen. She swallowed hard, her voice small. I can explain. Explain? You think words can explain this? I laughed bitterly. I trusted you. Every word. Every laugh. Every single promise you made. She looked down, fiddling with the hem of her shirt. I didn't mean for it to happen. It was just what? I stepped closer, my chest tightening. A mistake? A fling? You lied to me for weeks. Months even. And you think calling it a mistake fixes anything? I was lonely, she whispered, finally looking up. Her eyes glistened. You've been so busy, so focused on work. I felt I don't know unseen. I shook my head in disbelief. Unseen? Maya, I called you every day. We planned weekends, dinners. I thought we were happy. I thought I knew you. Her lips quivered. I know it looks terrible. I never wanted to hurt you. You did hurt me, I shouted, the anger boiling over. Do you even realize what you've done? You shattered everything we had. She took a step back. I know, and I regret it. I don't know how to fix it. I laughed again, a bitter, broken sound. Fix it, Maya, there's nothing to fix. There's trust, and you burned it to ashes. Her voice cracked. I didn't mean to. I swear. Swear to what? I slammed my palm on the table. I've seen the footage, Maya. I've watched you with him. Every smile, every touch. I trusted you, and you lied. Over and over. She hesitated, tears spilling down her cheeks. I didn't think you'd see it. Well, congratulations. You failed at hiding it, so now we're here. I know everything, and I don't even know who you are anymore. She sobbed openly now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did this. I stepped back, running my hands through my hair. You can't believe it? Maya, you did it, and now I have to live with it. You want me to just forgive you? Pretend nothing happened? She shook her head. I thought we were okay. I didn't think you'd ever find out. I laughed bitterly again. Find out? Maya, I saw it with my own eyes, and I can't unsee it. I can't just act like nothing happened. She sank to the couch, burying her face in her hands. I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. Please don't hate me. Hate you? I whispered, feeling tears sting my eyes. Maya, I don't even know if I can trust anyone ever again. I trusted you, and look at what it cost me. The apartment fell silent except for her soft crying. I wanted to scream, to yell, to throw something, anything, but I swallowed, trying to hold on to some shred of control. You know, Liam was right, I said finally, my voice low. I should have listened when he said there might be signs. I was too blind. Too trusting. She looked up, confused. Liam, what are you talking about? You remember him? My best friend? He told me not to ignore little things. I laughed. I shrugged it off. Now look where we are. I never thought, don't start with excuses again. I've heard enough. My voice hardened. You lied to me. You betrayed me. And I don't even know if you feel the weight of it. Do you? She shook her head violently. I do, I really do. I took a deep breath, trying to calm myself. My chest felt tight, my hands trembling. You know what's worse? I loved you. I trusted you more than anyone. And you made a choice. Your choice. And now, I paused, letting the silence stretch. I have to figure out what I am going to do next. Her voice cracked. What are you saying? I'm saying I don't know if I can ever forgive you. But I know one thing, I can't stay broken. I can't let this destroy me. You've made your choices. Now I need to make mine. She flinched, like she finally understood the shift in power. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything, I said softly, more to myself than to her. Just leave me alone for now. She nodded, too stunned to argue. I heard the door close behind her. I sank onto the couch, heart hammering, tears brimming. Betrayal had never felt this sharp, this cold. But somewhere deep down, a tiny ember of clarity sparked. I'm not powerless. I can take control. I will take control. And for the first time, I realized this wasn't just heartbreak. This was the beginning of everything I would become. I didn't answer my phone for 2 days. I didn't leave my apartment except to grab groceries, and even then, I barely looked at anyone. I sat on the couch most of the time, staring at the blank wall, trying to make sense of everything. Finally, Liam came by, knocking on the door like he always did. I let him in. Hey, he said softly, sitting across from me. How are you holding up? I don't know, I admitted, voice tight. Some days it feels like I'm drowning. Other days like I'm on fire. Either way, it's awful, he nodded. I get it. I really do. But hiding away won't make it better. You have to face it, her, this everything. I don't want to see her. I don't want to think about her. But I can't stop thinking about her. That's normal, he said. But obsessing won't fix you. You need to take control of your life again. Start with small things. Clean up, go out, see people who actually care about you. I rubbed my face, exhaling sharply. I tried. It's everywhere. Social media, mutual friends, it's like she's laughing at me through a screen. Every time I see a post, it's like a punch in the gut. Liam leaned forward. Then stop looking. Block her. Delete the messages. Take your life back, piece by piece. You're stronger than this, you know it. I looked at him, really looked, and nodded slowly. Yeah, maybe you're right. I can't let her control my thoughts anymore. So I started. I deleted our messages, every single one. I threw away the little notes she had left around the apartment. The photos. The reminders. Each one felt like a weight being lifted, though my chest ached with every memory I erased. I can't believe it's all gone, I whispered to myself, but a small smile crept onto my face. Relief, finally. Liam came back a couple of days later. You okay? He asked. I think so, I said. I've been cleaning, going through things, even rearranging the apartment. Feels good to have control again. Good, he said. Now let's talk about you. Not her, you. We went for a run that afternoon. It felt strange at first. My legs heavy and my lungs burning, but with every step, I felt something returning. Strength, clarity. I realized I had been hiding from myself as much as from the world. You're looking better, Liam said between breaths. Healthier, stronger, you've got that fire back, I smirked. Thanks, I didn't even notice it was gone. But yeah, it feels good. Later, I met with some colleagues for lunch. At first, I avoided their eyes, worried about what they thought of me, but soon I was laughing, joking, and remembering who I was before everything fell apart. You seem lighter, one of them said. Like you've been carrying a ton and finally put it down. I smiled. Yeah, maybe I did. When I got home, I took a long look around the apartment. The space felt different, clean, organized, mine again. I sat on the couch thinking about the past few days. The heartbreak, the betrayal, and then I thought about myself. My choices, my life. I picked up my phone one last time. I scrolled past Maya's name, past all the posts and messages, and then I blocked her, permanently. Goodbye, I whispered. And for the first time in days, I didn't feel like crying. I started working on myself in other ways too. Cooking meals, exercising more consistently, even picking up old hobbies I had abandoned. Every small victory, every moment of laughter with friends or a quiet achievement felt like a brick being laid in the foundation of my new self. One evening, Liam called. You ready to get out of the apartment? Maybe see the city, grab dinner, meet some new people? I paused, smiling. Yeah, I think I am. I'm tired of hiding. That's the spirit, he said. Remember, you're not broken. You're just growing. And trust me, people notice strength, especially when it comes from surviving something like this. I laughed softly. Yeah, growing. I like that. Better than broken anyway. That night, I went out. The air felt different on my skin. The streets didn't feel like traps filled with reminders of her lies. They felt alive, full of possibilities. And for the first time in weeks, I realized I could breathe again. I thought about the past, about Maya, and I acknowledged the hurt, but I didn't dwell on it. Instead, I thought about me, who I was, who I wanted to become, and the fact that the power to move forward had always been mine. I smiled to myself as I walked down the street, Liam's words echoing in my mind. You're not broken. You're growing, and I believed him. I didn't act on impulse. I didn't storm into Maya's life or yell at her again. Anger had cooled into something sharper, focus. I needed a plan, and I needed patience. Liam noticed the change immediately when we met for coffee. You look different, he said, stirring his cup. More controlled. I am, I said, leaning back. I've been thinking, observing, waiting. Observing? He frowned. You mean her? I nodded. Yeah, her and her new life. I'm not doing anything rash. I'm just taking notes, noticing patterns, small slips. I want to be ready if karma ever needs a little push. Liam leaned back, skeptical. You really think you can turn this around without losing yourself? I have to, I said, voice low. I can't let her betrayal define me. Not anymore, but I also can't let it slide completely. She needs to see what she did. Not from me yelling, but from her own choices. We walked past a cafe and Liam stopped mid-step. Hey, speaking of choices, he leaned closer. I ran into Jenna from work yesterday. She mentioned seeing Maya with some guy. He's new, doesn't work with us. But she's been hanging out with him at events, apparently showing him off. My heart skipped, but I kept my face calm. Really? Interesting, Liam shrugged. Just thought you'd want to know. But be careful, okay? Don't lose yourself in this. I won't, I said. I've learned my lesson. I'm not reckless. That's why I'm watching, not acting yet. Back at my apartment, I sat with my laptop, opening folders and old messages. I started building a quiet archive, proof of her lies, inconsistencies, little things she thought she'd hidden. Dates didn't match. Stories didn't add up. Social media posts contradicted what she told me. Everything was connecting. I can see you, I whispered to myself. I can see everything. And now it's all going to matter. My phone buzzed. A message from an old friend. Hey, lunch tomorrow? Haven't seen you in forever, I smiled. Exactly. Time to rebuild. Time to remember I exist outside of her. The next day, I met my colleagues for lunch. Casual conversation turned into tiny breadcrumbs I could use later. Maya? One asked. Oh, she's been dating someone new, a photographer. Saw them together at the gallery last weekend. I smiled politely. Really? That's interesting. Yes, really, they said, oblivious. She seems happy, though. You know her, I nodded, outwardly neutral. Inside, I cataloged every detail. The gallery, the man, the timing. Each bit of information was a puzzle piece. That night, I sat on the balcony, Liam joining me with a beer. You're quiet, he said, watching me. I'm planning, I admitted. I'm not plotting something reckless, Liam, just watching, learning, letting the truth take shape. Do you ever think about forgiveness? He asked. Or do you just want her to feel exposed? I took a deep breath. Not exposed. Not humiliated. She'll deal with the natural consequences of her choices. That's all. My focus is on me now. My life, my dignity. She just happens to be the catalyst. Liam frowned. You're good at this. Cold, careful. But remember, don't let it consume you. I won't, I said firmly. This isn't about hatred. It's about balance. About reclaiming control. Days passed. I kept observing. Her posts, her interactions, the little slips she made when she thought no one was watching. And everywhere I saw confirmation. Lies, manipulation, self-interest. I also rebuilt myself. Gym sessions, reconnecting with friends, even a few old hobbies. Each day I felt more solid, more in control. The anger became energy. The betrayal became a tool. And the heartbreak just a memory I could use as leverage without letting it own me. One evening, as I deleted yet another old conversation, I smiled softly. All gone. Clean slate, Liam called. You ready to start moving forward? I am, I said. Forward, not back. Not revenge for revenge's sake. Forward, he chuckled. Sounds like you've changed. I have, I said. Stronger, smarter, not naive anymore. And patient. Everything in its time. That night, I went to bed thinking about strategy, not heartbreak. I imagined her seeing the results of her own choices, not my interference, and a sense of satisfaction settled over me. Not joy, not glee, just clarity. I can wait, I whispered to myself. I can watch. I can rebuild. And when the time comes, karma will do its work. I just need to stay ready. And for the first time in weeks, I felt fully in control. Not angry, not lost, not betrayed. Just ready. Because the storm had passed and now it was time to rise. I watched from my apartment window, coffee in hand, as life unfolded exactly as it should. Not because I controlled it entirely, but because truth has a way of finding its way to the surface. Liam called me while I was observing. You still watching her? He asked, half teasing, half concerned. I'm not watching her, I replied, voice calm. I'm monitoring. For clarity. Clarity, huh? He chuckled. Sounds like you've gone full detective. Maybe, I said. But look, things are moving. Slowly, naturally. Earlier that week, I'd seen subtle changes in her social circle. Her friends exchanged confused glances, whispered in corners. And from her social media posts, inconsistencies popped up, stories that didn't match, events that never happened. She's losing control, I whispered to myself. The cracks are showing. Liam frowned on the phone. You're taking some pleasure in this, aren't you? I paused. It's complicated. Satisfaction, yes, but also melancholy. This isn't about me laughing at her pain. It's about seeing reality catch up, seeing what I went through reflected back. A notification popped up. One of her friends had posted a comment under her latest photo. Wait, that's not what happened, right? You said you were at your parents'? I smirked. Small steps. Very small, but noticeable. Later, I met a colleague for lunch. We talked casually, but she dropped information that fit like a puzzle piece. She's struggling with her new relationship, I think. He's getting suspicious. You know Maya, always overcomplicating things. I nodded, pretending not to care. Really? That's unfortunate. Yeah, my colleague said. She's trying to keep everything together, but it's not working. People notice things. Lies don't stay hidden forever. I let the comment sit in my mind. Timing, patience karma works best when left alone. That night, I sat at my desk, reflecting. Should I confront her directly? I asked myself. But no, I thought. Let her face it on her own terms. Let her choices and lies reveal themselves. That would be far more powerful than any argument or accusation I could throw at her. I opened old photos on my laptop, watching moments of laughter and joy I once shared with her. I felt the familiar ache of loss, but this time it was tempered with clarity. I had been naive, yes, but now I was awake, I whispered softly, almost to myself. We were happy once, weren't we? And then, just as quickly, I reminded myself, but that's over. That's gone. The next morning, I noticed her posting a story online. She seemed tense, forced smiles, eyes darting around in videos she uploaded. Comments started appearing, subtle but curious. Are you okay? Something seems off. Even her man, the one she cheated with, wasn't blind. I saw a friend's post mentioning a private conversation he had with her, questioning her story about a supposed trip she'd told him about. I leaned back in my chair, fingers steepled. Look at that. Even he's noticing. Even he doubts her, Liam called again. You're enjoying this too much. Careful, man. I'm not enjoying it, I said firmly. I'm observing, learning, watching consequences unfold naturally. It's fascinating in a way. He shook his head over the line. You're good at controlling your emotions now. That's scary. Not scary, I corrected. Necessary. If I had acted out in anger, it would have ruined everything. Patient strategy, that's how you reclaim dignity. I spent the next few days quietly noting inconsistencies she posted. Her friends questioned her. Colleagues whispered. Her man grew wary. And through it all, I felt a strange mixture of vindication and sadness. I hadn't wished her harm. I'd simply wanted justice, balance, and now she was beginning to see me differently, though she didn't know it yet. I could feel it in the way she suddenly hesitated in public posts, the way her tone shifted when talking to mutual friends. She underestimates me, I whispered, a chill running down my spine. She thinks I'm still broken. Still naive. She's wrong. I closed my laptop, leaning back, taking a deep breath. The storm was coming slowly, but I could feel it. Karma was in motion, and I was ready to watch it unfold. Later, Liam sent me a text. Careful not to lose yourself in this. Revenge without control isn't victory. I smiled, typing back. I know. I'm not losing myself. I'm reclaiming it. And for the first time in weeks, I slept with a sense of calm. Not triumph, not glee, just clarity. Patience, observation, strategy. Let her lies crumble. Let truth catch up. And when it did, she would realize she had underestimated me completely. I whispered softly before closing my eyes. This is only the beginning. I walked into the cafe, heart steady, hands relaxed, though my mind was razor sharp. Today wasn't about anger. It wasn't about screaming or tears. It was about truth. She was there, sitting with her new man, laughing a little too loudly. I froze for half a second, only to remind myself, this was not about her, this was about justice. I approached the table calmly. Maya, I said. Her smile faltered. Oh, hi, she stammered. I nodded politely, sitting across from her. I think we need to talk. Publicly. Everyone deserves clarity. Her man shifted uncomfortably. Is this about me? He asked. No, I said calmly. This is about her choices and the truth. Maya's eyes darted around. I don't know what you mean. I pulled out my phone, showing her messages, screenshots, and timestamps. Remember this? And this? I pointed to images of her lies, contradictions, and the hotel footage she thought I'd never see. Her face went pale. It's not what it looks like, she stammered. Oh, it looks exactly like what it is, I said, my voice firm but composed. I trusted you. I loved you. And you lied. You cheated. You manipulated. She looked at me, eyes wide, trembling slightly. I didn't mean to. Don't. I held up a hand. Don't justify, don't excuse. I'm not here to argue about your excuses. I'm here to show you consequences. Her man frowned. Wait, you're saying she… Yes, I said, locking eyes with her. She's been dishonest. With me. With everyone she claimed to care about. And now people are seeing it. You included. She tried to speak again. You don't understand… I understand more than you think, I interrupted. I understand betrayal. I understand manipulation. And I understand patience. I waited. I observed. I let truth come forward naturally. And now here we are. The cafe had grown quiet. Other patrons glanced over, sensing tension. A friend of hers whispered to another, clearly confused. I never wanted it to go public, Maya said, voice shaking. I thought I could fix it. You could have fixed it by being honest from the start, I said. But you chose lies. You chose deception. And now, your world is reacting accordingly. Not me, your actions. Tears welled in her eyes. She looked at her man, who now seemed hesitant, unsure of what to believe. Please, you don't know… I know enough, I said. Enough to protect myself, enough to reclaim my life, and enough for you to see that choices have consequences. She started sobbing quietly, covering her face. Her man didn't know what to say, avoiding her gaze, shifting uncomfortably in his seat. I took a deep breath. This isn't about humiliation, I whispered to myself. It's about reality. It's about truth, and sometimes truth is harsh. A mutual friend at the next table leaned over. Wait, so all this… everything she told me, everything she posted, it wasn't true? I nodded. Exactly. And now she has to face that truth. Everyone does. Lies can't stand forever. Maya's lips trembled. I never thought you'd find out. I didn't… Stop, I said gently but firmly. No more words. Let actions speak. Let reality show what your choices have done. This isn't punishment from me. This is natural consequences. Her man looked down, finally connecting the dots. I don't know what to say. I trusted you, she gasped, shaking her head, trying to hold back sobs. I didn't… Save it, I said quietly. I once loved you, but that's gone. What remains is clarity, and your understanding that trust isn't unlimited. I stood up, feeling a strange mix of relief and sorrow. Relief that truth had emerged, sorrow for what we once had. I had loved her deeply, and now it was gone, replaced with comprehension and strength. As I walked away, I heard whispers. I can't believe she did that. How could she lie like this? I didn't look back. I didn't need to. Karma was no longer invisible. It was unfolding before everyone's eyes, and she was finally beginning to understand. Outside, I breathed in the evening air, the cool breeze brushing against my face. I had wanted revenge at first, but what I'd found instead was power, control over myself, over my emotions, over the chaos she tried to create. I whispered softly, "It's done." Not because I forced it, but because truth always finds a way. Liam texted, "You okay? Did it go as planned?" I typed back, "Better than I imagined. Justice doesn't need cruelty. Truth is enough." I walked down the street, heart steady, head high. People might see me as calm, composed, even triumphant. But inside, there was a quiet sadness for the love that had been, the life that could have been. And yet, there was also strength. Strength to move forward. Strength to rebuild. Strength to be me again. And for the first time in months, I realized something important. I had survived betrayal. I had endured heartbreak, and I had emerged, not just intact, but stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever came next. I woke up that morning with a strange sense of lightness. The weight of betrayal, the anger, the endless replay of lies, it was gone. At least it felt lighter. I stretched and glanced at my phone. No messages from Maya, no attempts to reconnect, Just silence. Peaceful silence. Liam called almost immediately. "Morning, man. You sound calm. Different." "I am," I said, running a hand through my hair. "I slept well, for the first time in weeks." "Good," he said. "You ready to start reclaiming your life?" "I think I am," I admitted. "It's time. I can't stay in the past anymore." We met at the cafe where everything had come to light. I smiled at familiar faces, exchanged a few hellos, and realized how much I'd missed these simple interactions. Small things, conversations, laughter, idle chatter, they all felt like freedom. Liam leaned back, smirking. "See? Life goes on. And hey, it's better without her drama, huh?" I nodded. "Much better. I feel lighter somehow. Like a part of me that was trapped is finally free." Later, I went through our old apartment one last time, packing boxes, sorting memories, deciding what stayed and what had to go. I found old photos of us together, some happy, some candid. For a second, nostalgia hit me like a wave. But then I reminded myself, these were reminders of what I survived, not what I needed to carry forward. I held one photo up and whispered softly, "We had good times, but I'm done clinging to the past." Then I tossed it into the box labeled Donate. "Don't look back," Liam said quietly behind me. "You've earned the right to move forward." "I know," I replied, smiling faintly. "And I will." At work, I started reconnecting with colleagues I'd ignored, catching up with old friends I hadn't spoken to in months. Every conversation reminded me that life existed beyond betrayal, beyond heartbreak. There was laughter, camaraderie, even small victories, a completed project, a kind word from a coworker, an invitation to a weekend hike. These were the pieces of life I had almost forgotten. During lunch, a friend asked, "You're handling all this well. How are you doing it?" I shrugged lightly. "Perspective, I guess. Time. And realizing I can't control others, only myself." She nodded, smiling. "Sounds like you've changed. Stronger." "I have," I admitted. Not in some flashy, dramatic way, just steady, confident, free. That evening, I went for a walk through the park near my apartment. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over everything. I paused, breathing in the crisp air. It struck me how beautiful the world felt when I wasn't clouded by resentment or heartbreak. Liam texted, "Dinner tonight? Celebrating freedom?" I grinned and typed back, "Absolutely. Time to mark this new chapter." At dinner, surrounded by friends, I realized something. Life wasn't perfect. I still felt a twinge of sadness thinking about Maya and what we could have had. But that sadness was quiet now, almost tender. It wasn't consuming. It reminded me of growth, of lessons learned, of strength forged in fire. One of my friends raised a toast. "To new beginnings," she said. "To letting go of what holds us back and embracing what we deserve." I lifted my glass. "To freedom, resilience, and moving forward," I added. And for the first time in months, I meant it completely. Later, alone, I deleted old messages on my phone, conversations filled with lies, manipulation, and heartbreak. Each deletion felt symbolic, a final step in severing the chains that had bound me to the past. I whispered softly, almost ceremoniously, "Goodbye, truly." The apartment, now emptied of old memories, felt larger, warmer, open to new possibilities. I smiled at the thought of the life I could rebuild here, one filled with honesty, friendship, and moments that belonged solely to me. Liam joined me on the balcony. "So what's next?" he asked. I leaned back, staring at the skyline. "Next is living. Really living. No secrets, no lies, no false love. Just me, my choices, my happiness." He nodded, grinning. "Sounds like a plan, and hey, you've earned every bit of it." "I know," I said, "and I'll keep earning it. Every day." The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. I felt a warmth that wasn't just sunlight. It was freedom, closure, and hope. I took a deep breath, feeling steady, whole, and ready. "This is my life now," I whispered, "and I'm never letting anyone take control of it again." The past was behind me. Maya, the heartbreak, the betrayal. They were chapters closed, no longer able to define me. What remained was the future. A canvas blank, open, full of possibility. I smiled faintly, feeling a quiet joy. Not a loud celebration, not a vindictive triumph, just a serene understanding that I had survived, endured, and emerged stronger. And for the first time in a long time, I felt completely free.